What's up everybody, Anthony here. Today I wanted to make a quick video showing you 5 common things that I find all the time in thrift stores and garage sales. Things that sell really quickly on eBay and Amazon FBA. And like I said, these are pretty common things. I'm sure a lot of you already know about them. For a lot of you this will be pretty basic, but if you're new and just starting out, these are definitely a good place to start, when you're walking into a thrift store for the first time and have no idea what you're looking for. These things have sold for me over and over and over again, and and I've made some pretty decent money on them because I generally find them pretty cheap. If you have been doing this for a while, these still could be things that you don't necessarily know about. So they sell quickly and they're usually pretty cheap. So let's go and get started with item number 1, which is blank media. Blank VHS cassettes, blank audio cassettes, micro cassettes, floppy disks, zip disks, CDs, DVDs. Now, a lot of times you'll just find like one blank VHS cassette, and obviously that's not going to make you a lot of money. In fact, if you sell one blank VHS on Amazon, you're likely going to lose money. So it's better just to, especially if they're cheap enough, it's better just to buy them when you find them and then save them till you have a bundle of them. There's lots of different listings on Amazon for bundles of VHS cassettes. I'm actually going to make a video pretty soon about how I bundle blank media for Amazon FBA. It's not exactly rocket science, but people don't necessarily know that you can just kind of save these up and then sell them off in like an 8-pack or something. Item number 1, definitely what to look out for, eBay or Amazon, is blank media. Item number 2, Olympus 35mm cameras. Here's a couple right here. There's one that has a chewed up box that I found recently. Now 35mm cameras are a dime a dozen in thrift stores, and out of the ones I see, I would say 90% aren't worth anything. I mean, I've looked up hundreds of 35mm cameras, but for some reason these Olympus stylus zoom cameras tend to sell for a lot of money and sell quickly, and I pay hardly anything for them. I think the most I've ever paid for one, not in a box, was $3. Normally they're anywhere from 99 cents to $2.99. I think I've paid as much as $10 for one that was in a box. The box does seem to help the value, so I don't mind paying up a little bit that way. But I've sold these on Amazon, FBA countless times, and eBay countless times, and they never let me down, and they never sit for a very long time. And that's not to say there's not other 35mm cameras that aren't worth money. There definitely are. It's just I know these are a home run every time. One thing I do is I buy the batteries off of Amazon. I buy like a 6-pack at a time, and they're like less than $10, I think. So they're definitely nice to have on hand since I find the camera so often. The batteries look like this right here. They are CR123A batteries. This is the Panasonic brand, but brand doesn't really matter as long as the reviews are okay. So I like to have those on hand just to be able to test the camera a little bit. What I do is I pop a battery in, open it up, make sure the zoom works, make sure the flash goes off. I've never put film in one, which I guess is kind of risky. In years of doing this, I've never had a return on one of these cameras, so I feel pretty confident with my method. As long as they're clean and there's not parts or springs jingling around inside or anything, then you're generally pretty good to go, in my opinion. So item number 2, Olympus stylus zoom cameras. There's different colors. There's black, gray, gold, and there's different model numbers too, but some definitely go for more, some definitely go for quite a bit less. But I think on eBay I've never sold one for less than 25, and on Amazon I've actually never sold one for less than 80. So anymore, I tend to go with Amazon FBA for the Olympus cameras. Item number 3, Bibles. A lot of thrift stores, Bibles are $1, maybe even free. I don't necessarily like it when they're free. I feel weird about that. So definitely on those days I round up my change. Like the cameras, all Bibles aren't created equal either. Normally I'll look out for leather-bound Bibles, older Bibles, Bibles that are special editions with like different references or concordances or anything like that. Study Bibles, that type of thing. I normally start on eBay looking them up to see if there's any value there. In fact, I think I've sold probably 90% of my Bibles on eBay just because I like that you can take detailed pictures and give a more detailed description for them. A lot of times they'll be written in, they'll be highlighted, they'll have names written in them, presentation dates. I've even sold Bibles that have people's names inscribed on the covers, which you would think that would hurt the value, but I've not really experienced that, especially if it's a sought-after edition of a Bible. I just take really clear pictures of it, and I've never had a problem or a return on a Bible. Personally, I've sold Bibles anywhere from $25 to over $200, so it's definitely something that I look out for. Look them up, check them on eBay and Amazon. If the price is high on Amazon and the rank's not too bad, then Amazon's the way to go, especially if it's in really good condition. But, you know, like I said, if there are a lot of flaws or marks in it, then I tend to go with eBay because I can really describe it better there. So item number 3, Bibles. Item number 4, remote controls. Remotes are awesome because they're generally really cheap. I normally pay 99 cents a piece for them. I've seen thrift stores that have buckets of them for a quarter a piece. If that's the case, I usually just pull out a bunch that look interesting and just buy them and look them up later. At $1 a piece, it's easy to get loaded down with worthless remotes. Just like anything else, some have value, some don't. So especially when you're first starting, you definitely want to look them up and see what's what. But I mean, they sell well on eBay and Amazon. Amazon, they tend to go for a little bit higher, but you know, you're eating up with more fees also. So, you know, you just have to compare them and see where the value is and, you know, where you're going to make the most money compared to the time that you spend. Because a lot of times you will have to clean them because they get pretty grimy. I mean, they're tools that people handle constantly, so they will get dirty. Also, the easiest way to test a remote is to open up your cell phone camera and put it on the front-facing camera, press some buttons, and if the light here lights up in the camera, then you're usually good to go. Always check the battery compartment, make sure they're not corroded. If there's a little bit of corrosion, a quick YouTube search will show you how to get that corrosion off of there. But if it's really, really heavy, then a lot of times you're not going to be able to clean it. So definitely look at the battery compartments and look up the model numbers, which are usually either on the front here or inside the battery compartment or maybe on the back somewhere. Maybe even here on the top, but they're usually pretty easy to find, you know, once you know what you're looking for. Item number 4, remote controls. All right, and that brings us to our last type of item, and that's discontinued Sony products like Walkmans and tape recorders and little radio Walkmans and bedside, you know, alarm clock CD players. Now on Amazon, I know a lot of people are restricted in Sony. I haven't necessarily ever had that problem, but I do usually stick with old Sony products, products that Sony hasn't sold for years. So that may be a more open category, but that's also the category that I find at thrift stores. And these old Sony products tend to sell pretty quickly and for a pretty good margin. Walkmans, like this one here, I bought for $2.99. And I can't remember exactly what it sells for, but I'm guessing on Amazon FBA anywhere from $30 to $50, just because people are looking for these now and they don't make them anymore, at least in the Sony Walkman line. So definitely something good to look out for. If you are restricted on Amazon, then I mean, they sell well on eBay too. Generally not for quite as much money, but they do sell, and you know, you will still make money if you're spending $1, $2, $3. Like this might sell for $25 on eBay where it sells for $35 on Amazon. So you will still make money, especially, you know, when you're spending $2.99. So definitely keep an eye out for discontinued Sony products. All right, everyone, so that'll do it. Make sure you like the video and please subscribe to the channel. Feel free to leave your comments down below about things you'd like to see or other things that you find all the time. I'll probably make more of these videos with some more harder to find items, but I thought I would start it off with the stuff that I find all the time that you may know about, but you know, you may not. And if you're just starting out, then these are good things to look out for, you know, without spending tons and tons of money getting started. So I wish you all luck and thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.